Hey, it's Chris Coppa here with the Ruth Real Estate Team. Here in Canyon Gate, here a Katy property that's been affected by the flooding in the area. And we're privileged to be here with Mo Vasquez with MV Professional Inspections. He's a certified inspector, a certified mold inspector as well. And he's here to answer questions, to be that go-to resource for people who are looking for somewhere to go, looking for answers, not sure what to do as their house is in this current state of the remediation process. Mo, we'd like to thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Sharing your knowledge and time with our audience. If they want to reach out to you directly, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you for that introduction. You guys can reach out to me at www.mvproinspections.com. I'm also on Facebook. You can look me up at MV Pro Inspections on Facebook. Look it up in the search tab and I should come up there.
Excellent. And your number, your best contact number?
Best contact number is 346-262-2352. You can contact me through text message or give me a phone call. If I don't answer, please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
And a lot of people, they're already at this stage of the remediation process, but just in case they aren't, or for future references,
Sure.
What are the best things that people can do right away to reduce the moisture levels inside their house and minimize the potential growth of mold throughout the property?
Absolutely. So you want to make sure if you haven't opened up your house, open it up and air it out. You want to get everything that's inside of your home that's moisture laden, anything that's wet, you want to get it out as soon as possible. Mold just needs the right temperature and it spreads very quickly. Typically within 24 to 48 hours you can have a whole colony of mold growing up a wall. So you want to make sure you open up your house, vent it out, make sure you get all of the wet things out of there. And as you start going through your home and you start taking things out and you start clearing everything out, then the next process comes, which is removing your sheetrock from your home to make sure that you start drying out your home studs. Your wood studs. You want to make sure also that if you're at about 2 feet of water, you want to come up another 2 feet. In this home here, we went up a little bit higher, about 5 feet, and there was a little bit of extra moisture. If there is moisture trapped inside your wall, even though your water level was only at 2 feet, rule of thumb is to go up another 2 feet. So if you've got 4 feet, you go up 6 feet. If you've got 6 feet, you go up 8 feet. However, that shouldn't put a limitation on you. If you're at 2 feet of water, you remove the sheetrock at 4, and you still see that there's moisture stuck in the sheetrock. Your sheetrock's still wet. You've got moisture inside of your insulation. You want to go ahead and go up a little bit higher. In the long run, that's going to help you out. It's going to be more cost effective in the long run, and that'll actually be better for the health of yourself and your family.
Yeah, and so basically it's just attacking areas where the mold could grow and getting rid of them before it grows there.
Absolutely, that's right.
I see. Well, and so as far as, how can people test for the moisture levels in their house? What can they use? Where can they get that type of, I guess I'm looking for a tool.
Your tool?
Yes.
Okay, so what I have here, this is my Trimix moisture meter, okay? This is a little bit on the higher end of the spectrum. I'm going to show you what my tool does versus what the typical tool does, okay? So what we have here is different settings on the moisture meter. You've got wood and timber, drywall, and plaster and brick. We're going to go ahead and go to wood and timber, place it up against the wood. And as you can see right here, we've got a relative humidity of about 7% inside this wood stud right here. Okay. Now, most homeowners won't have this tool. This is a pretty expensive tool. So what you want to do is you can go to Home Depot, and when I first started walking through homes, I got myself a very crafty little tool. It's not that much. It's about $34. Anywhere from $34 to $50. This is a General, okay, and that's the name of it. It's kind of weird, but yeah, that's the name of this actual tool. It's a moisture meter. Okay, and the way this works, this is a little bit invasive. It's got probes on the tips. Metal probes, I'm sorry. So you hold down the power button. Excellent. It's going to turn on. And you've got two different settings here. You've got a wood setting and you've got a brick setting. Alright, we're going to put that to wood. Alright, and just real quick, on the back of this machine, you will actually have your moisture levels, your low moisture levels, medium moisture levels, and your high moisture levels. And this will read for wood, and this will read for building material, which is stucco or brick. Okay? So now that we're on the wood, we're going to test the same spot here. Okay? Remember, we were at 7% on the moisture meter that I had. Let me flip this right over, I'm sorry. Okay, this is showing about 12.3%. So this is not as sensitive as the one that I carry. However, this works well. There's normally, you can give or take about a 4% variation. So typically you want to keep your wood, okay, to remediate the growth of microbial organisms at 17% or below. Okay, anything below 17% becomes virtually, it's virtually, you can't have anything microbial growing on this type of wood here. So 17% and below is good. So rule of thumb, you can go 4% up or 4% down. So this reading 12% right now is fine. Because if you go 4% up, that's 16. If you go 4% down, that's 8. And it gives you a ballpark figure. Because these will definitely read. When you've got a high moisture content, it will start beeping and it'll definitely read. So to speak, we sweat, we have moisture on our skin.
Oh, wow.
This is going to read the moisture level on our skin. I'm at 26%. That's because I'm a sweaty dude, not because I'm hot. That's where you're at. This is a great tool. This isn't the only one they have at Home Depot. You can find quite a few, but you want to go within the $30 to $50 range. Don't go any cheaper than that, because then you are kind of asking for a little bit of trouble there. So just
gotcha.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Well, and as far as the house itself, what are normal moisture and humidity levels?
So moisture, regular moisture, good question. You have what's called relative humidity inside of your house, and normally that's read with a hygrometer. I don't have a hygrometer with me. Most homes will actually have that on the thermostat of their AC. Okay, a hygrometer will let you know the relative humidity that's inside of your home, and you want to keep the relative humidity in the summer 60% or below. So if you go over and you look at your thermostat, you'll have a little number. You'll have a number on there that'll say anywhere from 40, 50, 60. And you'll have a little droplet next to it. Looks like a little water drop next to it. That's actually the hygrometer reading what you've got measured inside of your home and telling you the moisture content inside of your house. So you want to make sure that you get yourself a hygrometer. If your thermostat is not working in your house and you're going through mold remediation, or you're trying to just take stuff out of your home and you're curious as to what the moisture content is, not only in your wood, but you also want to know what the moisture content in the actual house is. You want to get yourself a hygrometer, okay, 60% or below, and the way to remediate that, if you've got a high moisture content, you want to get yourself dehumidifiers, okay? Dehumidifiers can be done one of two different ways. You can hire a company to get that done for you, or you can go out to your local Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, and get yourself a good-sized dehumidifier.
Fans, I'm assuming?
Sam's, you can probably go to Sam's. Oh, fans. Yeah, actually, Sam's will actually have some dehumidifiers right now. Maybe Costco. You can go check. Don't take my word for it. The last one I saw was at Bed Bath & Beyond last night, and it clears out a square footage of like 200 to 300 square feet. So. Yeah, you'll have to move it from room to room to start bringing down those humidity levels.
I was going to ask you. I was just going to interject.
Sure.
So you said 60% or below in the summer. Is that different than off season? Because I know it's really humid and hot here in the summer.
Okay, it's always hot. Yes, here in the summer. So during the winter times, in the off seasons, 20 to 40% is normally a good number. Okay. Just because you don't have a high relative humidity in your house doesn't mean that you can't have condensation in the house.
So Mo, if people have, they're in this state, they pulled up the floor and they want to make sure before they either put new sheetrock or new flooring in the house, how can they make sure that they kill all of that bacteria, all that potential mold growth, and they don't have to deal with it in the future after they put the new flooring or sheetrock on?
Sure. So the process can be pretty lengthy. Okay, and if it's something that you don't know, you're kind of unaware of, you don't know what to do, a couple of suggestions I'd like to make, right? You can get a professional remediation company to come in and work out all the spots for you. Or if you decide to take it on as a homeowner, you can actually get biocides. So basically what that is, it kills any antimicrobial, any fungal growth in the house. And what you want to do is, if you're working on concrete, so to speak, you want to go ahead and...
He's a busy man, folks. He gets calls all day. That's all right. Hey, we're live, folks.
Yeah.
Come on.
So sorry about that. So, all right. So you want to, if you have concrete, concrete is very porous. Concrete will actually soak in. Will soak in whatever you spray on. Okay, so what you want to do with the biocide, you want to spray it on the concrete as best as you can. Then you want to go ahead and dry it up. Okay, when you dry it up and you get ready to start lifting it up and cleaning it off, there's different ways of doing it. Okay, so one of the ways is you spray it down, you get it wet. This homeowner here is actually going to be using a machine that actually peels off the glue from the tile and everything off of the concrete. So it's going to help to facilitate the cleaning a little bit better.
So, and that's, this state right now is before it's getting that machine, right? He's already been testing it?
Yeah, this is before the machine has gone on. This is just where we're at right now, currently at the moment, right? So you have to, you have to remember, right? Foundations absorb water, moisture, so the quicker you can work a spot, the better it is, because it's never really recommended for a foundation to be constantly watered. Unfortunately, we've been through these floods, and there's nothing you can really do other than protect your home, protect your investment the best way you can, and so that's what this homeowner is doing right now. So once you've cleaned it off, the main thing, once it starts drying, is to get yourself a vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter. You want to pick up the dead mold spores that are actually on the ground. You know, this water had seepage and sewage with it. There's different ways to treat it, different ways to go about it. You can look up a great website, www.epa.gov/mold, has a bunch of great articles on how to actually take care of this.
Okay. Well, and I was going to ask you too, two-story homes.
Sure.
Obviously, the first floor was affected if it was flooded. As far as the second floor, what can they do to make sure that they have the second floor clean, to make sure it's mold-free? Is there stuff in potential jeopardy, with the mold in the house?
Yes. You want to make sure that your roof, first of all, if you have access to your roof in your attic, check it with a flashlight. Be very careful when you go up there, make sure there's no water coming into your roof. Second thing you want to do, very easy, very simple, you get mild detergent, some warm water, and a rag. And what you actually do is you just wipe it off. It's as simple as it sounds. You'll actually pick up the mold spores on that cloth, and you'll get rid of them, right? You'll wipe it off of the wall. Especially if you don't see, when you don't see anything, that doesn't mean there's nothing there. There's always a potential. There's always mold spores, whether this would have happened or not. Mold spores are live organisms, and fungi lives out in the open at any given time of the year, right? So rag with mild detergent and water, wipe it down, you're good, and it's tedious, but do the whole second floor, right? You're also going to want to check your air ducts, and this is one of those things where you just kind of have to be careful, right? You disturb mold, you can breathe it in, you get it in your lungs, it's the last thing you want. Wear some kind of proper personal protective equipment. So let's talk about that for a little bit, okay? A lot of what's not being told right now is your PPE, okay? So PPE is personal protective equipment. You want to make sure that when you start looking in the ducts, start looking in the areas of your home that are actually moisture-laden and they just have a funky, musty, moldy smell, chances are you're breathing in mold already. So you want to have a minimum of an N95 filter mask, okay? An N95, not expensive, you can buy them in bulk. It's got a little square in the front, it's got a little bit more protection in it, it's got a little filter in the front, that'll help you out. Wear some rubber gloves, and look in your vents. If you see anything that looks weird, anything that looks odd, some kind of mold growth, you want to have someone who's certified come take a look at that, because that can actually affect the health. That can actually affect the health of your family. Molds have been known to exacerbate allergies and people who are highly sensitive to pollens and molds.
I see. So it could have long-term effects potentially.
It can potentially. While some people don't feel it and have no reaction to it, you've got that one person in the house, such as my son who's going through it right now, that actually reacts to it, and it exacerbates it to the point of asthmatic reactions. So that can be a long-term. That's definitely something that you need to look out, and that's why it's very important to have someone that knows what they're looking at come out and look at that for you, and make sure that you're taking care of them.
I see. Well, I was going to ask you real quick, Mo. House in this state, it's already gone through a lot of the demo work, sheetrock, flooring. Is there a benefit to having an inspector, a certified inspector or mold professional come out to the property and do a walkthrough/test?
Sure. So, as you saw a little while ago, we checked the moisture reading inside of the wood. Anything 17% and below will remediate microbial growth. So if you've got 17% moisture and below, on your wood studs, you're good. That's something that you can check out, but if you don't know how to do it, you're unsure, the benefit to having a professional home inspector come out and take a look at your home is that you can be certain that we're trained in that, right? Whether it be me or someone else, I highly suggest that you get yourself somebody to come out and take a look at your house, because if you don't know what you're looking at, it's hard to tell what you're doing. So it's always a benefit to have a professional home inspector or someone who's certified in mold to come and take a look at your home. Do you have any proof of any kind of remediation or any type of anything that was done to the house?
So essentially documentation
Yes.
of the home in this state before everything gets put back up.
Right. You can have documentation of the home before it gets put back up, and actually, as a matter of fact, after it gets put back up, because a mold inspector can come out to your home, and basically what we do, we measure the air sample outside of the house and inside of the house. So after another important time is once you've put the sheetrock and the insulation all through the house, and everything's good, everyone's fine in the house, you still want to have that mold inspector come back to take a culture sample, right? To maybe take a couple swabs if anything seems out of place. But if the house seems fine, then the best thing to do is to get it certified by a mold inspector saying, hey, guess what? This house is cleaned up. I took an air sample outside. I took an air sample inside. I did representative samples of all of the air vents, checked them, and everything tests out okay. So now you've got physical documentation saying, hey, this house is good. I took all the proper steps to take care of it so that when your family comes in, they'll love this house as much as I do.
There'll be no hassle as far as from the next potential buyer.
Exactly, yeah.
So Mo, is there any other advice or information that you'd like to share with our audience? I've heard you're doing something special right now.
Absolutely. So listen, a lot of people have been affected by Hurricane Harvey. There's so much devastation going out there. NV Pro Inspections is offering a special rate, special discount for the people that have been affected by Hurricane Harvey. Please don't be scared to reach out. I can give you an estimate on your home. It'll be a fair estimate. And I'll be more than happy to come out, take an initial look at your house, and we can talk. We can talk about discounts and what we're offering as a company, and guarantee that services we offer, you'll be pleased with.
Folks, and there's a lot of people out there right now, I can tell you and vouch for this guy, trustworthy, reliable, knowledgeable. Don't get taken advantage by someone you don't trust or you don't know. Contact this guy if you want him to come out, assess the state of your property, check the humidity and moisture levels in your home, make sure you've taken the right action, so that way down the road you're not going to have to go through rework, mold remediation. You want to make sure you do it right, and that's why we're doing this right now. We really appreciate your time, Mo. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Great guy here, folks, sharing his knowledge. Call us, contact us directly if there's anything that we can do for you. And of course, you know who to contact for your home inspection mold needs.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.